Mouse. He settled into a hollow beneath a wind-fallen spruce, its trunk masking him from the facility below. A pair of binoculars rested against his knees, their lenses already fogged from the cold. The first hour was nothing but patterns. Guards in twos, vehicles stopping for checks at each gate. A change in watch positions just past the top of the hour. Then something broke the rhythm. A black SUV rolled through the main gate without slowing, guards standing straighter as it passed. Its windows were tinted deep, the kind of tint that said the passengers inside didn't want to be seen. Cole adjusted the focus, but the angle was wrong. He caught only a gloved hand resting on the armrest before the vehicle disappeared behind a warehouse.
The hunter's way.
Cat. A message came to Directorate 4. The handler opened the encrypted file, still images of an old logging road high in the mountains, taken from a hidden trail camera. The quality was low, but the silhouette was clear. A man in winter camo, moving along the tree line with a pack. "Where was this?" Chersky asked. "North approach to Deep Creek, comrade," the handler said. His eyes didn't leave the screen. "Send air support to surround. If he's going to watch, we'll let him. And then we'll close the trap." Mouse. By late afternoon, the temperature had dropped. Shadows stretched across the valley, swallowing the buildings one by one. Cole noted 2 more SUVs arriving, both using the same unchallenged route through the gate. He was about to pack his gear when he heard it, a faint crunch in the snow behind him. He froze. Slowly, without turning, he lowered the binoculars to the ground. His hand found the knife strapped to his thigh. Another crunch. Closer. He turned his head slightly, just enough to catch movement in the edge of his vision, a shadow shifting between the trees. Cole kept his breathing slow. Whatever was behind him was close enough now that he could hear the faint hiss of snow being pushed aside. He shifted his weight slightly, letting his right hand slip from the knife handle to the rifle lying under the spruce boughs beside him. Not a movement meant for a manhunt. More for something with teeth. The crunch came again, heavier this time, followed by a low, deliberate snort. Bull elk. A big one. The scent reached him next, sharp, musky, mixed with the dampness of snow-packed fur. The animal stepped into the fringe of his peripheral vision, antlers like bare-limbed trees against the gray light. Cole didn't move. Bulls in this region weren't afraid to bluff charge if they felt crowded, especially in cold weather when food was scarce and tempers short. The elk pawed at the snow once, snorted again, and angled off, following a narrow game trail down toward the valley floor. Cole waited until the sound of its passage faded into the trees. He realized he had been holding his breath so long his vision swam. He let it out, slowly, chest aching. Strange that an animal could put more fear in his gut than any armed patrol. But that was the truth of it. A bullet you could counter. A wild charge was chaos in muscle and antlers. He faded off to some year in East Germany. He couldn't pin the date anymore. The ops blurred together after a while. Border forests, cold rivers, nights of waiting for a courier who might never come. The dossiers had years. The reports had times. But in his head, it was just a reel of cold breath and dark trees. He remembered this one only because of the animal. A wild boar, crashing through the underbrush, tusks flashing white in the moonlight. The suddenness of it had burned deeper than the mission details. Men could forget gunfire. They rarely forgot the things that tapped their oldest fear. No matter how disciplined you were, something that close hit a primal switch. You couldn't train it out of yourself. Today's bowl had the same effect, a reminder that no matter how steady you kept your breathing, there was always things that could force it to quicken. Cole scanned the valley again with his binoculars, but the SUV from earlier had not reappeared. The guard's rotation seemed normal. The airstrip was quiet. Still, he didn't like sitting here after being distracted. Even with the bull gone, the snow carried his scent now. A thin human trace in a place where elk and fox would know he didn't belong. He broke down his position quickly, stowing binoculars, brushing away any sign of his camp, and moving higher along the ridge to a secondary perch. The new angle wasn't as good for watching the main gate, but it gave him a cleaner line to the airstrip and a broader view of the approach road. Cat. Any sign of him from the perimeter cams? Mao asked. Captain Crane shook his head. Not yet. But our contact on the North Ridge just picked up fresh tracks. Man's moving east, either repositioning or pulling back. Then we move faster, she said. Have our A-Strat scout cut the east approach before dark. Task Force 2 can seal off the south and west. She turned back to the live feed from a drone circling high above the Deep Creek Valley. Snow and treetops rolled past in a silent drift, but the resolution was sharp enough to catch a bull elk threading its way along a game trail. Indigenous wildlife, the drone operator said over comms. No sighting of the target. Engage the Deep Creek emitter. Azimuth 95 degrees, pan retrograde span 10 degrees at 6 clicks a minute, and reverse, directed Krang. And speed the A-Strat. Mao's eyes stayed on the screen a moment longer. It's all prey to me. Pounce. The sun was dying behind the ridgeline when Cole caught it, a flicker of movement where there shouldn't have been any. A shadow skimming low over the treetops, moving silent and deliberate. He dropped flat, pulling the rifle in tight. The hum reached him next, not a drone's whine. It was lower, thicker, and paired with the sound of air puffs, like from a pressure release valve. Cole crawled deeper under the spruce cover, angling his binoculars toward the source. At first, he thought it was a man in some kind of ultralight harness, but there was no canopy, no rotor. Just a soldier, boots, fatigues, helmet, hovering, slowly sweeping the ridge with a compact carbine at the ready. It was like he was standing at a flying pulpit. Cole felt a chill under his ribs. Men weren't supposed to hang in the air like that. Every rule of gravity mocked. It was Rockland again, but sharpened, militarized, pointing directly at him. The soldier paused, head turning toward Cole's general position. The muzzle of the soldier's carbine shifted. Cole rolled sideways, just as a shot cracked, punching a fist-sized spray of snow where his head had been. He came up to a knee, sighted, and squeezed twice. The first round tore bark from a pine in front. The second hit center mass. The hovering figure jerked, wavered, then dropped hard into the drifts below, snow blooming around the impact. The Z-shaped pedestal was still hovering in the air. Cole waited, his rifle pointed at the heap. The fallen rider did not move. Cole burst forward quickly, rifle up. The man lay on his back, helmet skewed, breath rattling once before stopping. The uniform was pristine, but up close the details were stranger. Buttons stamped with characters that looked Asian. Seams triple-stitched in a pattern Cole had never seen. And in the breast pocket a laminated access tag with the barcode and single Cyrillic word, Okrana. Security. Cole felt the bottom drop out of his sight. This wasn't U.S. escape. By the time the drone passed overhead again, Cole was gone, ghosting through the tree line in a crouch, leaving no trail where the snow crust could hold his weight. He kept moving after dark, skirting game trails and frozen creeks, knowing that every mile he put between himself and Deep Creek was another mile he might live. In the first hour after midnight, he made his choice. No straight line home. He would vanish into western Idaho, shadow the big river north, and skirt major cities into the hills. From there, he would head north for the border to disappear entirely. If they were willing to send soldiers with that kind of technology onto U.S. soil, he was outgunned. This was going to be about stealth now, not fights. He touched the laminated tag he had taken from the dead man's pocket. Okrana. The cold cut deeper as he moved. But the thought that followed him was sharper. He wasn't just prey. They had set the trap for a mouse. They didn't know they had baited a wolf.